Hello and welcome to our virtual dose of virtual vitamin Z. My name is Akilah, educated with the Detroit Zoological Society, and we're going to be celebrating World Giraffe Day. Even though it was yesterday, there is no reason why we can't celebrate it today. And I have special guests here with me, Elizabeth, our Curator of Mammals, and she's going to be talking to us about our giraffes. The giraffes that are in our care here at the Detroit Zoo. So if you have questions out there, make sure you type those in, and as they come through, we'll get to your questions, all right? So, Elizabeth, so I see our animal care staff, Amy, is out here feeding the giraffes. Now, what is some of the favorite foods that these guys like to get?
These guys like a lot of things, but browse, the plant life in the leaf, is absolutely their favorite.
Yeah.
They love grapevine and mulberry, and they really, really love willow. Today they're getting a variety of treats. They also eat some produce.
Okay.
Out here she's giving them some carrots and some romaine lettuce, and then she's going to hang up some browse for them so they can eat naturally as they would in the wild.
That's amazing. So carrots and lettuce, that's something that I know that we eat, so that's good to know that they get some of the same foods that we eat.
They like
that's
a
pretty
lot of
amazing.
those.
So now, how large can giraffes get?
Well, Jabari, our adult male, he is in his early teens. He's about 12 now, actually, and he's close to 2,600 pounds, which is a large male giraffe. So he's just about full grown these days.
That is amazing. Now, the family, they're a herd of giraffes. Now, how are we able to tell the three of them apart?
Well, we do have a family here. We have Jabari, who's the male, Kabuli, the female, and Mapenzi, their offspring. He's about 5 years old now. And if you look up close at them, they really are very different looking. Jabari is so much larger than the female, the mom of the baby. Mom is only about 1,800 pounds, where Jabari is about 2,600 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So he's a lot larger. And Mapenzi, their boy, he's about right in between, about 2,000 pounds.
Okay.
There's also quite a bit of difference in coloration. If you look at Mapenzi, Jabari is quite a bit darker than the other two.
Okay.
All of their patterns are slightly unique. So the more you look at them, the more you can start to tell them apart.
So I'm assuming that the animal care staff, they need to spend a lot of time with them, even though they know them apart, they're able to tell the difference because of their patterns.
Absolutely. That's a big part of the animal care staff's job. You know, they feed, they clean, but they have to watch them. They have to pay attention to their behaviors every single day and make sure they're behaving normally and typically.
That's amazing. So I know you're the Curator of Mammals, so that means that you're caring for all of the mammals that are here at the Detroit Zoo. Now, an animal care staff person that is caring for the giraffes, are there any other animals that they care for while they're here at the zoo?
Well, Amy here is in the mammal department, and she takes care of the giraffes and all the animals at the outback, which are the kangaroos and the wallabies. And she does that every day she's here. She's sure to work with the same animals every day. That's how we have all the keepers here. 5 days a week they're working with the same animals. So that's for sure they get to know those animals really, really well. Know what they're eating, know how they're behaving, know if they see any teeny tiny change in the amount of food they eat or how they're walking. So you can carefully monitor their health.
That's amazing. So I know you talked a little bit about their responsibilities and they're caring for other animals. So do they do any specific training with them at all?
Absolutely. You know, we do have a vet staff here, and we want to carefully keep track of these animals and their health. And we want them to be part of the process of being involved in their health care. So most of our animals here are trained to voluntarily provide health care needs with us. For example, these guys will get on a scale. Now, having an animal that will get on a scale and we can watch their weight is so important. It's one of the most important things we can do. So these guys, any day, will get right on the scale and you can carefully keep track of their weight. They do that, it's not scary for them, it's a normal part of their day, they get a great treat, and then they go outside after they get on the scale.
Okay. So I know that the giraffes here that are in our care, they get a variety of food, they have a large habitat space. Now, do they share that space with any other animal?
The giraffes here just live the 3 giraffes. This is a great habitat for them. If you've come to the zoo before, you know that we've expanded this yard and we expanded their building just a couple years ago. So they have a large outdoor space and a large indoor space.
That's good to know. That's good to know. So let's see if we have any questions from our viewers that are out there. And not quite yet. So giraffes are really tall animals. And I know they probably have an opportunity to browse throughout the day because they're herbivores. So that means they're probably grazing in the grass. But now, do we ever put anything up high for them to eat because they have such long necks?
Absolutely. That again is part of the zookeeper's job to make sure these guys are eating all day. They're not typically animals that are going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're going to be browsing on leaves all day long. So Amy has to come out here and provide them that opportunity every day. These guys have tongues that are like 21 inches long, which sounds so crazy, but they're perfectly built to be picking leaves off of branches all day, every day. So it's an important part of Amy's job to make sure, as you see here, she provides a lot of leaves for these animals. There's a variety of places throughout the habitat and inside where we can hang these. So she'll hang it up in the trees so it's at the height of the giraffes, and then just plucking the leaves off the branches is a natural behavior and their natural way of eating.
That's amazing to know. So I know that we are able to give them browse. I'm actually going to turn this around so our folks at home can see what's going on in the habitat. So we talked about the browse, how that's up high. Now, what about water for them?
Yes, they absolutely do drink water, and it can be kind of crazy to watch them drink sometimes when they drink off the ground. So we do provide them water bowls. Some of them are on the ground, but we also, if you look in the back of the habitat, and if you look inside, we make sure we have water bowls up high for them so they can get to them easily. And we make sure they have lots of spaces to eat. So it's not just one spot that they all have to eat together. We spread things out so they can separately eat, and we can monitor that each of them is getting the right amounts that they're supposed to get, and they're all being fed appropriately.
Okay, so I see that we have one of the peacocks that come over here sometimes, and that is okay for the other animals to do that? Okay.
Yep, the pea hen and all the peafowl are on grounds occasionally, and they just live well with all of us here.
That is amazing.
If you watch the giraffes, you can see how they use that long tongue. Again, I mentioned that tongue is 21 inches long, so they can reach that tongue out and wrap it around a branch and strip the branches of all the leaves. And once they get all the leaves off, it's not uncommon then that they'll start to strip off some of the bark.
Okay. Now, will they do anything with that bark?
Sometimes they'll eat some of the bark, and sometimes they'll just nibble on it and chew it for a while.
Okay. So one of our questions were, how long have giraffes been at the Detroit Zoo?
Oh my goodness. I believe giraffes are original to the Detroit Zoo, and we are close to over 90 years old these days.
Yeah.
I'd have to 100% check that, but giraffes have been here for a very, very long time.
Okay.
Mackenzie was actually born here, the youngster. And over the years, we've had many animals born here.
Nice. There are a lot of people out here who love the giraffes, and they specifically want to know, how big is the giraffe outdoor habitat space for them?
The outdoor habitat is a little over an acre.
Okay.
We expanded it recently last year. It's a large grassy space. Also behind the scenes, you can see they have a behind the scenes yard. So they also have the main yard that you folks can see and the indoor areas that you folks can see. But there's also a new yard that we put in behind the scenes that gives them just a little bit extra space if we need it.
Okay. So their indoor space, we know that these are animals that love the warmth. Is the indoor space heated for them in the wintertime?
Absolutely. The inside is heated. It also has a lot of great places for them to get their food from up high. Water is up high, a lot of places to hang browse so they can eat. It also has some soft surfaces, so they have a comfortable surface to walk on and to lay on.
That is amazing.
The indoor area also has skylights and a lot of natural light that comes in, so when they're inside during the day.
That is amazing. And it looks like another one of our questions is, how long will giraffes stay with us here at the Detroit Zoo? How long will they live?
Giraffes, they can live up to about 25 years. Years ago, we had one of the oldest giraffes in the country, and he lived till 25. So these guys, the two adults, are not quite even middle age, so they're going to be here for a long time.
And the youngest is 5, and the oldest is 12.
12, yes.
12.
And Kabuli, the female, she's 11.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. Alrighty, I don't think we have any other questions. I'm gonna just double check. Oh, someone wants to know how many calves have been born at the Detroit Zoo.
Oh, that's a great question. During my time frame that I've been here, and I've been here over 20 years, I know of 2 for sure, but that's something we could probably look up and make sure we can get that back to your listeners in the near future. That's a great question.
If you heard that out there, we will get that back to you. So I just want to say thank you so much, Elizabeth, and our animal care staff person, Amy, for joining us for our World Giraffe Day here at the Detroit Zoo. I know it's always some great things to see the animals here at the Detroit Zoo that are in the amazing care of our animal care folks. So thank you again for joining us for this dose of virtual vitamin Z. Make sure you continue to check back on our DetroitZoo.org page for education resources and more virtual vitamin Z. We will see you soon, and thank you.